Hello and welcome to the first module in this course, Environmental Pollution. And in this module, we're going to be looking at environmental pollution, pollutants, types of environmental pollution, causes of environmental pollution, effects of pollution, and pollution prevention. But let's have an introduction. Urbanization and technological development have put the survival of the planet in danger by degrading the quality of the environment's essential elements, air, water, and soil, due to the release of hazardous waste from factories like plastics, heavy metals, nitrates, burning of fossil fuels, acid rain, oil spills, and industrial toxins. Polluting agents are exponentially increasing in modern society, disturbing the ecological balance and posing extinction problems from different animals and bird species. This is because the destruction of plants, especially trees, by acid rains disturb the natural environment of animals. So, what is environmental pollution? Environmental pollution refers to the contamination of the natural environment by harmful substances impacting air, water, soil, and living organisms. This contamination can be natural, like volcanic ash, or human caused, such as industrial waste or vehicle emissions. Environmental pollution also refers to the introduction of harmful materials into the environment. In other words, environmental pollution is the contamination of the physical and biological components of the environment to such an extent that normal environmental processes are adversely affected. What are pollutants? Pollutants are substances or agents introduced into the environment that cause harm or disrupt natural processes, often leading to adverse effects on ecosystems, human health, or the environment. They can either be naturally occurring or caused by human activities. Pollutants are elements, molecules, and particles that contribute to pollution. When exposed to these materials, life can be harmed, and the effects on humans and plants are adverse. Pollutants can enter the environment in a variety of ways, both naturally and by humans. What pollutants do once they are released into the atmosphere, soil, or water depends on the type of pollutants, but we should categorize them. So, different categories of pollutants we have are primary and secondary pollutants. Primary pollutants are those that are directly emitted into the environment, whereas secondary pollutants are those that are formed from primary pollutants and external factors. These are some examples of pollutants. We have air pollutants, which include carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, particulate matter, and volatile compounds. We also have water pollutants, which include bacteria, viruses, heavy metals, pesticides, and industrial runoff. Another example is soil pollutants and includes lead, pesticides, herbicides, asbestos, and PCBs. Other pollutants can be noise, pollution, like loud noises, it can be light pollution, it can be plastic pollution, and we have natural pollutants like volcanic ash, oil spills, and natural decomposition processes. What are the types of pollutants? So they can be categorized into various types depending on the effect that they have, and also they are based on the nature of disposal, based on the form of persistence, and based on the nature of the pollutant. So, based on the nature of disposals, pollutants are of two types. We have the non biodegradable pollutants and we have biodegradable pollutants. Non biodegradable pollutants are pollutants that cannot be broken down into simpler, harmless substances in nature. And examples are plastics, polythene, insecticides, pesticides, mercury, lead, arsenic, aluminium cans, synthetic fibers, glass objects, iron products, silver foils, and so on. For biodegradable pollutants, they can be broken down into simpler, harmless substances in nature over time. And examples are domestic waste such as urine, fecal matter, sewage, agricultural residues, paper, wood, cloth, cattle dung, animal bones, leather, wool, vegetable stuff, or plants. Based on the form of persistence, there are two types. We have primary and secondary pollutants, as we already said. Primary pollutants are those emitted directly from the source and persist in the environment. Examples are ash, smoke, fumes, dust, nitric oxide, sulfur dioxide, and hydrocarbons. Secondary pollutants are from primary pollutants by chemical interaction with some constituents present in the environment. And examples are sulfur trioxide, nitrogen dioxide, ketones, and ozone. Now, based on the nature of the pollutants, we have quantitative pollutants and qualitative pollutants. Quantitative pollutants normally occur in the environment but acquire the status of pollutants when their concentration increases due to human unmindfulness. An example of that is carbon dioxide. We also have qualitative pollutants, and these are substances that do not occur in nature but are added by man. And an example of this is insecticide. So, types of environmental pollution. Environmental pollution encompasses various forms of contamination impacting air, water, land, and ecosystems. The primary types of environmental pollution are air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, and noise pollution. Additional types include light pollution, thermal pollution, radioactive contamination, and plastic pollution. So, let's look at all of those. Air pollution is the contamination of the atmosphere with harmful substances that can adversely affect human health, ecosystems, and climate. Air pollution is caused by harmful gases and particulate matter into the atmosphere. Air pollution can be linked to respiratory diseases such as cardiovascular problems and global phenomena like acid rain and climate change. Water pollution. Water pollution refers to the contamination of water bodies such as rivers, lakes, and oceans with pollutants such as industrial effluents, sewage, agricultural runoff, and oil spills. Water pollution occurs when pollutants are discharged into water bodies, leading to water quality degradation. We have soil pollution as well. Soil pollution refers to soil contamination with harmful substances, including heavy metals, pesticides, and industrial waste. Major sources of soil pollution include the deposition of hazardous chemicals, heavy metals, and waste on land. Key factors are agricultural practices involving excess use of pesticides and fertilizers, industrial waste dumping, and improper disposal of solid waste, which also causes environmental pollution. Now, noise pollution. Noise pollution refers to the excessive noise that can adversely affect human health and wildlife. Significant contributions to noise pollution include noise from industrial activities, traffic, construction, and urbanization. Chronic exposure to high noise levels can lead to hearing loss, stress, and other health issues, which can in turn lead to environmental pollution. We also have thermal pollution, which is defined as the sudden increase or decrease in the temperature of a natural body of water such as an ocean, lake, river, or pond. This sudden change in water temperature is mainly due to anthropogenic activities. For example, a power plant takes water from a source such as a river as a coolant and then discharges the warm water back into the body of water. There's nuclear pollution or radiation pollution. Nuclear pollution or radiation pollution can be defined as the release of high energy particles into the air, water, or surface. It is caused by radioactive materials contaminating the environment by decaying natural or anthropogenic activities. Let's look at marine pollution. Marine pollution can be defined as the introduction of substances to the marine environment directly or indirectly by humans, resulting in adverse effects such as hazards to human health, obstruction of marine activities, and lowering the water quality. Plastic pollution. Plastic pollution is the contamination of the environment with plastic waste such as discarded plastic items and debris. Plastic pollution is a major environmental problem because it takes hundreds of years for plastic to decompose. Plastic waste can accumulate in landfills, waterways, and oceans, causing harm to wildlife and ecosystems. Light pollution. Light pollution refers to excessive artificial light that can disrupt ecosystems and nocturnal activities. Over-illumination in urban areas disrupts natural light cycles, affecting wildlife and human health. It contributes to energy waste and interferes with astronomical observations. So, what are the causes of environmental pollution? There are many causes, and they can be categorized into rapid industrialization, rapid urbanization, deforestation, and other human activities. So, under rapid industrialization, the concentration of industries in urban areas releases pollutants into the air, water, and soil, causing environmental pollution. The rapid pace of urbanization also increases waste generation and resource consumption, exacerbating pollution and causing severe environmental pollution. Number two, rapid urbanization. The increased pace of urbanization in recent times has led to worsening environmental pollution. It creates issues such as deforestation and habitat loss, increased emissions, and waste generation. Number three, forest fires. The frequency of forest fires or wildfires has increased because of human actions, such as land clearing, encroachment. These wildfires are a huge source of environmental pollution, adding large amounts of gaseous and other pollutants into the environment. We have improper agricultural practices. The agricultural sector produces at least 23% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Using chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides in agriculture contributes to soil and water pollution and environmental pollution. Intensive farming practices also lead to deforestation, soil erosion, habitat destruction, and environmental pollution. Number five, we have deforestation. Deforestation refers to the decrease in forest areas worldwide that are lost for other uses, such as agricultural croplands, urbanization, or mining activities. This causes an imbalance in the local ecology and reduces nature's capability to absorb pollutants, leading to environmental pollution. Other causes include continued reliance on fossil fuels, vehicular emissions, and improper waste management. What are the effects of environmental pollution? Environmental pollution has widespread consequences impacting human health, ecosystem, and the climate. It also contributes to climate change, biodiversity loss, and the degradation of natural habitats. But let us look at five key effects of environmental pollution. Number one, impact on human health. Pollution leads to respiratory diseases, cardiovascular problems, and infections. Air pollution causes asthma, lung cancer, and heart disease, while contaminated water results in cholera and gastrointestinal disorders. Exposure to toxic chemicals in soil and food can lead to long-term health risks, including organ damage and developmental issues. Number two, damage to ecosystems and biodiversity. Pollutants harm wildlife and disrupt natural habitats. Water pollution affects aquatic life, leading to fish deaths and loss of marine biodiversity. Airborne toxins damage forests, while soil contamination reduces fertility, affecting plant and animal life. And many species also face extinction. We also have climate change and acceleration. Air pollution, particularly from greenhouse gases like CO2 and methane, contributes to global warming. We have rising sea levels, glaciers melting, extreme weather events, and desertification affecting both natural and human environments worldwide. It also has economic consequences because pollution affects industries like agriculture, fishing, and tourism. Crop yields can decline due to soil and air contamination, while polluted water bodies can harm fisheries. And then this causes an increase in healthcare costs and loss of productivity due to pollution related illnesses. Then we also have degradation of the quality of life. Excessive noise, light, and air pollution lower the expectancy and mental well being. Polluted cities experience reduced visibility, foul odors, and poor living conditions, making life uncomfortable and unhealthy for residents. But how can we prevent environmental pollution? For individuals, we should learn to reduce, reuse, and recycle. We should minimize consumption, repurpose items, and properly dispose of waste to reduce landfill burden. We should conserve water by fixing leaks, taking shorter showers, and being mindful of water usage. We should choose sustainable products. We should opt for eco-friendly alternatives like biodegradable materials and locally sourced goods. We should reduce plastic usage. We should commute smartly. You can either walk, bike, or use public transportation for traveling shorter distances, and turn off lights and appliances when they are not in use. For communities, we can support local businesses. We should raise awareness about the environmental issues and support policies that protect the environment. We should volunteer for local cleanups and events to remove litter and debris. We should always advocate for projects that promote renewable energy, public transportation, and green spaces. For the government, we should have policy changes and regulations. We should implement and enforce regulations to reduce pollution from industrial sources. They should encourage the use of renewable energy sources like solar and wind power to reduce reliance on fossil fuels. They should implement comprehensive waste management systems that promote recycling, composting, and proper disposal. They should develop green spaces, urban parks, and other infrastructure that benefits the environment and improves the quality of life. Thank you very much, and we will see in the next module. Bye for now.